Greetings, all. Welcome to Aquarian Diary. I'm your host, John Irving. It is May 27th, 2023. Before I get into the main topics, I have a bit more housekeeping to do. First of all, I have launched membership on YouTube. This is just a small way that people can support me and all of the work that goes into creating content for this channel. When I first launched this last night, several people had problems finding or being able to subscribe to the membership. You may want to try using Chrome browser, or if you have any problems, comment or contact me and I'll help you initiate it. This is a platform issue. It's not really within my control, and apologies for any confusion. Look for the join button or check the membership tab on my YouTube channel. Thanks in advance for all those who can afford to do so. It's greatly appreciated. There's a few notable upcoming astrological events in the relatively near term that I want to draw people's attention to. As I often do, I'll be putting a lot of graphics on the screen, so if you're listening to this via podcast and you're interested in things like dates, you may want to check this out on YouTube. All times and dates indicated here will be for the Eastern time zone in North America. Mercury had retrograded in Taurus on April 21st. It then went direct on May 14th, and it will exit its post-retrograde shadow period on the afternoon of May 31st. That is when it basically makes up ground that it covered during its retrograde motion. So again, it's direct now, but it will resume its full forward motion on May 31st. On June 1st, Jupiter will conjunct the North Node at 3 degrees 37 minutes of Taurus. I discuss this in more detail in my Jupiter Transit Taurus episode. Jupiter will actually be within 2 degrees of the North Node from May 23rd through June 8th. So we're looking at roughly 2 weeks. We may see a lot of things that are very over the top, that upon reflection at a later date may just seem a bit crazy. So it's a good idea to try and stay grounded during this time, to not take anything you hear or see at face value necessarily without doing your due diligence or giving it due consideration. It's a bit concerning to me that the United States is dealing with the debt ceiling being held hostage during this time, because it's possible that people will act in really illogical and unpredictable ways. So bear those things in mind during this time from May 23rd until June 8th. And again, it'll be exact on June 1st, which is when the energies are most intense for that particular transit. There can often be a component of fate or destiny involved in transits with the North Node, and with it meeting the Great Benefic, you will want to look at which house this is occurring in your chart, as well as, of course, any significant aspects it makes to key planets or points in your chart. Pluto began a retrograde cycle on May 1st through October 10th of 2023. It will then make its first retrograde back into Capricorn since entering Aquarius in March of this year. That will occur on June 11th of 2023 through January 20th of 2024. This should be a very interesting period. Pluto will backtrack into the energies of Capricorn for that 7-month period. So a lot of the themes that we were dealing with while Pluto was in Capricorn are going to come back to the fore. Think of retrogrades like house cleaning. Pluto will bring up things that still have yet to be resolved and bring them to our attention that relate to the Pluto transit of Capricorn, which roughly occurred from 2008 until now. Pluto will, of course, be hitting the Anaretic degree of 29 degrees of Capricorn from June 11th to July 27th. Anaretic degrees tend to be particularly intense. So I would expect to see a lot of developments in the world during this time period. It will then hit the Anaretic degree again in direct motion from December 19th through January 20th, 2024. Of course, I have talked a lot about this, especially in my episode titled Pluto in Aquarius, Dawn of Global Consciousness. And interestingly, I've noted that many of the themes I predicted over a year ago have been coming to pass. A lot of good things with respect to accountability. Finally, as I discussed in my episode titled Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn, a Karmic Reckoning, things are catching up with prominent people and politicians and the like. Due to the fact that Pluto is retrograde now, the USA Pluto return, which I have also talked a lot about, is back within a 2-degree orb from July 3rd of 2023 to January 6th of 2024. January 6th. Where have I heard that date before? So it's interesting that it's within a tight orb during this Pluto retrograde cycle. Commencing on July 17th, the North Node will shift from Taurus into Aries, and the South Node will shift from Scorpio into Libra. The nodes travel in reverse, or retrograde motion. The North Node will be in Aries and the South Node will be in Libra between July 17th of 2023 through January 11th of 2025. So that is also a significant shift, and I have done a whole episode on that. And I also did an episode on Jupiter transiting Taurus, which commenced on May 16th and will end on May 25th of 2024. So I just wanted to give people a heads up on some of these shifting transits because there's a lot of change in the air. We're still going to be revisiting some of the issues we've been dealing with for quite some time, but there's a lot of new energies coming in that are certainly going to change the landscape, so to speak. I have a big to-do list of deeper, more spiritual topics I want to get to, but I had to implement the membership, make a bunch of changes on my website, and do things like this. And now that most of that is done, I should be able to get back to more spiritual and socially oriented topics soon. If you find that you're not getting updates for my channel here on YouTube, you may need to unsubscribe and then resubscribe to correct that. I apologize for any inconvenience, but it's out of my control. Thanks for all your support. Again, I am launching my membership tiers, and I appreciate anyone who can contribute to that. Very sincere thanks and gratitude to anyone who has already become a member. Much appreciated. I will put links in the episode description to things like my astrology readings, my energetic protection classes, and other resources. We live in very interesting times. Take care, all the best, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye for now.